Greetings, everybody. This is Joanna. Thank you for tuning in. Wow, what an amazing week. It was my birthday week last week, and I've been going through a huge shift and doing global webinars. So thank you for everyone, everywhere. Every time that I offer all that I am in authenticity and integrity, the love of who I am, the changing, shifting expression of who I am as source, I get so overwhelmed with remembrances of who we are as omnipresent beings. So I'm going to bring a few of those remembrances forward because they were kind of blowing me away in the profundity of what source offers us in all moments if we so desire to open up to it. And it's a beautiful spring day here. As you can see, the snow is melting, thank goodness. I absolutely need to live somewhere warmer. And what we wanted to bring forward today, so this is Joanna from Heavenly Radiance, Sacred Corner, and Universal Love, Light, Wisdom, Teachings, and Offerings. We offer a Christed vibrational energy, and that Christed vibrational energy is offered from the wholeness of all that we are, along with all of the many heavenly counsels that we always call in for these experiences. Those listening now and future now moments, your higher selves and your souls are always tuned in and clicked in, so that you're always being threaded exactly what you need when you need it. As long as you're opening from your divine sacred heart and you're opening with your pure intent to receive highest benevolence of light programs, your light codes, your bodies and souls needs for what you need to transcend and move through, then those will be offered to you. It's your pure intent and the vibration that you radiate at. And so just know that. Go with that intention that when we meet, these sacred energies are going to be flowing to you, and you just open and receive the God that is, the source that is, the universal omnipresence that is you, ready for your permission and your acknowledgement as the being of holy light that you are, to call it in. That's free will. That's your sovereignty. And we do have a class coming up on, I'm so excited to offer that class because it's absolutely needed. Most of the questions that I get, I'll just turn this way so we can see better the flowers. Always love Gaia. Most of the questions that I get asked is about health and wellness and balancing through these profound energies. And that's usually what most of the sessions and the webinars focus on, is the understanding of the multidimensional bodies, how we have come to experience who we are and how we are, and how to heal. And healing is this tremendous experience of purification of denser frequencies through limitation of fear into a higher frequency of pure love that we've always been. We've always been this. It's not that we have to find it and seek it out. So we're returning back to the purity of who we are as source. But to do that, we have to release all of the onion layers, if you will, of the limitations and the beliefs that have come with us through a myriad of different ways, because we're multidimensional. They come with us through the chakra systems. They come with us through our socioeconomic and familial belief systems, psyche imprints, and experiences that we've chosen to transcend for the myriads of the soul, oversoul, and oversoul families that we belong to assist in clearing them. Now, we want to also suggest that this information is coming to me, and we're going to be creating these sessions a little bit differently because I wanted to offer more of the channeling experience. Although all that I offer is through channeling, because I'm connected with source and team, and they come forward and live through me in that way. So it's not a necessary going into a deep connection, which some people do, that trance type of energies. So it's just the activation of all of the beings that are working with the light programs and the Christ consciousness live through me and are connected with me and threaded with me. So these will be channeled experiences and channeled energies, as always. But we wanted to offer it more as the vibrational healing that many need right now. And so they will be topics of healing and moving through and experiencing joy and bliss as we're moving through a tremendous awakening, global awakening process. And we do so with great joy and understanding our bodies and really honoring our bodies as the vessel of love that we are. So the healing process can be really exciting and joyful and empowering, really. What I state most often than not only do you experience the essence of Source Creator, that love of Source Creator that is you, but you feel that sovereign self-empowerment as you do your healing and your daily self-care. The daily self-care consists of doing your dream reflection before you get up and busy of the day, because your mind starts turning on. And the mind is a program, which we're going to talk about because that's what we're talking about today. Is our class. That's coming up on May 11th. The class that's coming up on May 11th is Healing the Mental Bodies. Now, the mental bodies are sown with all bodies that we are, and they're sown with the collective, because we are sown within the collective belief systems and what we are transcending and transforming. And so that class will be a 60-minute class, and it will include the channeled session topic of better understanding the mental body and how we can release the patterns and negativities and really what's going on as many people are, you know, moving into these profound energies of waves. It really feels like waves to me. One day you can feel as if you're on top of the world, and the next day you can feel as if you're healing your shadow. And it really can feel like that. And we're gonna give the understandings of the inner child, the shadow, and the negative ego. And those are all parts of that mental body. Of course, it's sown with all the bodies, but that mental body is what most are needing the healing of right now, because of the fears that are moving about our planet that we're transcending and releasing and transmuting. And it's up to each of us to do that. It's not just the light workers that are transmuting all the fears. It's each and every one of us awakening. Each and every one of us must move through our own fears. We must move through the layers that we have created through eons of density, through the eons of Earth lifetimes, therefore affecting the all throughout the universe and omnipresence, which is what you receive in your reality. So that's just something they wanted me to say, because there's many that are awakening that feel as if the awakening process is left to the light workers, or there's energies that are sensing because they're new at awakening that is what's going on, and it's not. Awakening and ascension is taking the entire planet, the entire globe, individually, one by one, through the self-love process, through understanding that we are source, through understanding we are omnipresence, through understanding that we are the micro-macro. So understanding the multidimensional bodies allow us to travel back and forth in and out of timelines and quantum leap, etc., and so on. And it's been widely misunderstood. And so part of our passions in coming forward for many years now was the understanding of our multidimensional bodies and how it's so threaded with everything within that we experience. It just is. It's not separate, cannot be separate. Our multidimensional bodies are the epitome of what we experience in our reality. And it consists of all that we are as source creator. So in understanding that, we can then perceive who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us in a whole new way. And we can bring it up to that fifth dimensional perspective of being Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness, as we've experienced and explained many times before, is that holy experience of who we are as omnipresent beings, and it's not related or delineated from any man-made or organized religion. All religions are also included within that Christ consciousness, but that Christ consciousness is who we are, is that pure essence of love and light. How it's been broken down and delineated is that energies of separation and limitation that we are transcending. To know that we can all worship Source Creator, our omnipresence, in unique and benevolent ways, and we always will continue to do so. But to take all that we are as the highest, most experiential being of light and love, and requires no box, it requires no boundaries, it requires no definition, because we can't, we're Source. And so just to begin the ability to get used to being infinite, to expressing yourself as infinite light, and following those expressions of creative joy and creative bliss, and following your excitement in that way, you're allowing yourself to always flow that creator source into creation, and allow yourself to constantly expand and return to center and love when you're moving through those moments of self-doubt, self-deprecation, worry, fear, all of those things that are what we're healing. And each and every one of us go through them every day. And it's just being a part of this human ride and this human collective, because we are each responsible for shifting who we are. There may be those that will choose to continue in the frequencies and patterns of negativity and fear, and that's their soul's ride and journey. But just to know that you as a divine sovereign being have the right to create that candescent energy and frequency and reality that you so desire as being that sovereign being. And that sovereignty and that empowerment comes from taking ownership of who you are as a divine sovereign being, that no one or no thing has control over you or around you, that you can understand your multidimensional bodies and therefore begin healing from within and without, creating this new experiential and tangible reality. Although we understand that nothing's really, really real in that way. But to do so, it just requires our shifting of perspective and dropping into our divine sacred heart and living from this portal of love that allows us to be this ever-flowing energy of miraculousness. you know, and I've been healing some super dense energies for many years now, many years, since my awakening. You know, I'm 51 now. I'm so proud to say that, 51. And I'm now looking at my life as such an incredibly strong journey for me to have chosen and for me to have taken, along with so many other humans that I'm here to assist and help in ways that, regardless of what you feel your life has been, because that's how we have historically define and muse and co-create from, is what has been. And then we're in this now moment saying, well, this is what it's always been, and this is who I am now, so what's going to come? And that's an old paradigm that we're able to leap over now. And we want to make that really clear, because it's a really profound click if you get it. That your now moment, so we're going to backtrack, that's how that linear experience has always been ingrained in us, and it's been patterned. It's a pattern belief, and this is where we're going back to the healing of the mental body. So join us in that Male Level class. We'll include the link in the description box down below. I always forget to say that. I always forget to say that we offer private healings, Akashic healings, and things like that through our website, and I always forget to leave the link. So just go back to our website, Universal Love Light Wisdoms, and you'll see the links of all of our offerings. We have so many different offerings. I've been talking a lot this week. And so just know that we're offering stuff all the time, and I'm always forgetting. I need an assistant. And so just know, just go back to our website, because we hold sound, sacred sound, and healing. I have a shamanic tarot channel, which is the Heavenly Radiance. And I'm really getting into exploring Gaia more, and why I want to get back on the land. It's really important to me to continue my Gaia consciousness speaking and sharing and shamanistic energies that we're exploring now as humans awakening. But we do have that class on May 11th, and it is healing the mental body. So we wanted to go back and understanding why we feel what we do. And we're saying this because we're coming into a really important portal in the next 10 days. And this portal will allow everyone to soften. We're saying soften because it's a vibration. That softening into who you are as a soul, and calling that soul and higher self forward to be with you in oneness as this harmonization of source and spirit, to heal these portals and these transitions of purification. Moment for moment for moment, we're truly harmonizing into our higher aspects. And if we're allowing ourselves to return to center, like we've always suggested, is we're creating that new loop, that 5D loop. 3D is what we're letting go. 3D and 4D is what we're healing and harmonizing into this new 5D loop. But we're always centering into this center space of who we are, the centering, that center point of Source Creator, your sacred altar. Living sacredly is your intention, or not. It's a vibration. And so that resonance of who you are as source is within all things, micro, macro. But the mental body, and how the mental body has been guiding humanity and pushing and driving humanity for eons, has been the imbalance. Our mental bodies are completely imbalanced as a collective. And you can feel into your own imbalances if you sit down and want to do your own daily self-care healing on what needs your most urgent attention. You know, and that's why we suggest daily self-care is so important at these times, because otherwise you can feel so overwhelmed by energies that you're just not understanding, especially as your energy systems get turned on, your intuitions, your subtle body, your third eye, all of your chakra systems, as we're being bathed with celestial heavenly light for the ascension process, as our electromagnetic frequency as a planet increases. This will be activating clearings and cleansings from your multidimensional systems. And those that are not awakened and don't understand can wake up one morning and feel as if they're going through a dark night of the soul that lasts for weeks. So it's really important to understand who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us, so that you can say, oh, I can relax now. You know, this is meant to happen. I'm clearing out these energies that don't serve me. What is the core to this this fear or this anxiety or whatever it is you're feeling, depression, sadness. And so, you know, allowing yourself to, you know, really engage and be that entangled master. It won't feel like that in the beginning, but you will. If you practice, I've been suggesting to my clients and to those that are attracted to our offerings, I've been suggesting that daily self-care happen obviously first thing in the morning, and that you set certain times and certain sacred space for it. put your intentions into that time and in that space. It's as you do so, the macro, micro energies of all that you are within that entanglement begin automatically clearing and creating that sacred intention. And you feel that similitude and that harmonization and that assimilation as you do so. And this is how we are all awakening to how we are true co-creators of our reality. And so understanding that just because you can't see something, or just because it wasn't taught to you, or just because it sounds so far off fetched and so weird, it is absolutely our fluidity as source creator in this fluidic, undeniable omnipresence quantum reality that we make physical. So allowing yourself to understand that you get to co-create, if you so desire, it's always free will, of course, these healings and these manifestations for your fluidic movement as being pure love. Because essentially, ascension and awakening is all about our reunification of who we are as pure love. And our remembrance, and as we do, we just remember that we are source. We are one with source. And so it's just like, it's a synchronistic harmonization that occurs. Every moment that you awaken to love, your forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, compassion of yourself, compassion of others in all life, then you remember that you're a part of this quantum soup that never goes away, that's everywhere, that's all things, that you are it. And it affects all reality. This is what will be a paramount experience within science over the next 10 years. Because science will awaken to the fact that science can only take you so far, and there has to be a harmonization and a merging of consciousness and spirituality understanding. Spirituality understanding is one's own unique perspective and awareness level, consciousness level. Awareness is conscious, consciousness is awareness, although not really. Consciousness is the omnipresence field that we're talking, that is source. It's every particle, every matter, and everything in between. It is source. It's the loving benevolence. It's the field of elegant design that has been expressed in science. The unexplainable, the undeniable, that allows us to understand that our planets aren't smashing into each other because there is a purpose. There is an elegant design to who we are as quantum beings of love and light. Although we're getting there. We're getting there as far as the societal demystification of our elegance. Because science has always been science. And so what will happen over the next 10 to 20 years is that there'll be that harmonization, because there'll be that understanding that there's so much more than we thought, and we've kept it so delineated and separate in definitions, but they actually are married and they go together, and they have to be. And we're understanding that because we're understanding that we absolutely create our reality. Well, how do we create it? It's more than the process of law of attraction and manifestation. It is our quantumness as source creator. And so, along with many other things, obviously, because it's source creator and it's undeniable and unexplainable, there will always be that mystery. There will always be that aspect of science that will be unpredictable, because we're source, we're the all. There is that majesty element that will always, always, always be a part of the equation. And so that was awesome. That was science. Physics, quantum mechanics. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the mind. Programming. Programming. How humanity has been driven for eons is the mind. It's been overrun by the masculine energies of thinking, egoic thinking, and we're not saying that masculines are just egoic. That's not what we're saying at all. We're saying that the mind has been historically driven by the principles of thought, and that thought is the intelligence and the moving of that air energy thought, and it's been imbalanced because what it hasn't done is it hasn't harmonized and merged, as all things are in a balanced society, in a balanced equation, is the harmonization with love and spirit. And so that's why we are imbalanced as a collective. That's why we are imbalanced in our mental, physical, emotion, and all the things that we have outlined in many of today's many of our illnesses, and many things that so many people experience. I mean, the health of our collective needs a lot of love and compassion and rebalancing. It just does, because there has not been the understanding of who we are as multidimensional beings and what we exist within, and how we are the masters of that healing and that rebalancing. And then in doing so, we simultaneously correct and heal our world. And so it is, as we've said, it will always be a harmonizing marriage. And we can't overlook that. We can't understate that as something that's small and insignificant, because it absolutely isn't. It is the core to all that is quantum. It is the core to all that is omnipresence. There will always be a marriage, and we are always entangled at the heart level of who we are as beings of light. We just are. We are the connection of love and light. And in doing so, we understand that we are the planet, we are the water, we are the air, we are the forests, we are all animals, and we are all people in between. Source is all things in between. Source is all matter and in between. We, at our level of awareness and our level of consciousness, allow it to be what it is. And in doing so, then we then understand, okay, well, what beliefs do I hold? What limitations do I hold? And who am I? So that I'm creating this experience in front of me, because we create all of it. The subtle stuff and the not so subtle stuff. And so that's why each and every one of us are here to heal, especially that mental body, because that mental body is what driven us into imbalance. It has been that separation to say that I'm not a heart-spaced being. And this is, I'm not going to go into the stories because it doesn't matter, because we're moving away from linear perspective. We're omnipresent beings, which means we're in every place at once in all things. And we wanted to go back, because we just said a few minutes ago about something linear. Oh yeah, that the linear perspective and that mind-driven experience has been, well, that is what my childhood has been. This is what I've grown up in. These are my patterns, and this is who I am now. So what do I have to experience? How can I make something new? How can I change it or not change it? Or I'm just expecting the worst. Because there's an infinite number of experiences that we all move through, and it's all good. It's all what your soul needs to experience. However, know that there's an infinite number of possibilities for you to create the reality that you want, and that's why we offer what we offer. So that linear perspective really keeps us pulled back into these old programs, because the mind is a program. The mind is the programming of our experiences, the psyche imprints that we come with to transcend. It comes with those experiences in that moment that are not attached to anything but those experiences that are within the DNA, that are within the Akash, and all that we are as a multidimensional being. It doesn't matter how we dissect it, but some people can focus on this, but it just draws them farther into the rabbit hole and sometimes confuses things. But to know that healing that specific imprint is just getting onto that next moment. And this is how we can get back to the now, the presence, the mind, the power that we have to create this new reality now. Every moment is a new now. Every moment is a new reality. Every moment is a new potential that you have to heal every molecule that is within you. And so understanding that your mind is a program. Your mind is a program based on, and we're just using this as an example. Your mind, this is the mind that you've come with in this particular life, if you will. And this mind has all of these belief systems. One can be your familial, societal beliefs, you going through school, going through relationships, whatever beliefs that you've come with. And they're also connected with all of your Akashic lineage, your ancestral lineage, timelines of galactic energy. So all of these are the programs of the mind. You, as the leader of all that you are, you get to go in and say, oh, okay, I'm going to change this now because it's not serving me. This is a belief. I accept it. I acknowledge it. I've allowed it to be what it has been, and with all great honesty and with great honor, I'm going to reprogram this belief. You can then get to reprogram that belief, but then fans out every timeline that you're connected with in that belief, and it heals that timeline. So that's why it's really important not only to, I've always suggested, because I can feel it alchemically, that a belief is what we come with to transcend. Your knowingness is who you always are as your essence with the omnipresence, with Source Creator. It's a knowingness. Beliefs can change, but your knowingness is your universal omnipresence truth. It just is, as your name is. And so that allows you to say that as my name is, when you're looking to alchemically shift a belief that has been hard or challenging, like your worthiness, it's one of the most steep depth of belief that each and every one of us come with at varying degrees of healing. Some people like me, some people with me come with a long list of that self-worthy leveling and layering that we come to heal, because our fanning potential to assist others in their healing of their varying degrees of self-worth are needed. And so it's our path that we must walk that path and be able to explain it in a myriad of different ways to affect those vibrationally that are listening at that level that might have this level of self-worth belief and this level of self-worth belief, or this one, and I've worked from all of them. Yeah. And so, but we can look at it now as saying, instead of living from that linear perspective of the mind programming to say, well, I've had this since I was a kid and it's going to be with me forever and it's just what I got to accept. No, No, you can choose that new belief right here and now, and with your pure intent to alchemically shift it right now, you're changing all the programs of all that you are. And why us, each and every one of us, awakening to who we are as source creator, that omnipresence, that fluid, liquid movement. You can create your body every day. You can create your house every day. You can create your relationships and transcend those discordant energies by knowing. That's that knowingness that you are source. You are everything in between. You are everything in between. Nobody's taught us that. Nobody's taught us that. We've always been taught that we are separate, that we are the separate, that one function of the equation. And that's it. So that's all we can affect. No, we affect our environment. We affect our reality. Oh, Coco. Oh, too cute. So she's, you know, she's all up in it. Too funny. So she's really excited about this whole quantum thing. She's like, you mean I can be outside on the tree as well as being here with you, bothering you and knocking over all your stuff? Yes, you can be everywhere, Coco. Go for it. And so that's why we say the awakening process is so really important to the reality experience that we have. And we're going to go into understanding some of the quantum physics, because we are quantum, we are science and spirituality. So the more that we understand science and spirituality in all ways, whether it's botany and biology, whether it's quantum physics and spirituality, it's all harmonization and marriage. It just depends on what degree you want to go into it. You know, do you want to look at the omnipresence, all that is, not just our universe, but all universes? We're threaded as a multiverse being. And how may we affect, because as your subtle bodies turn on, you will be able to feel into other timelines. And that's really important, because you want to stay current and present in this now moment. As we said, now is the most important moment, that you thread and you change all of those, rather than putting yourself on that timeline and recreating that timeline that does not serve you. And I've felt it, I've experienced it, and this is what we really need to be aware of and really be present. Now is the only moment to focus on now. And this now moment allows us to heal. It allows us to be present within who we are and really remain in that harmonization with Source Creator, and allowing our excitements and our bliss to guide us, not predicting or projecting, but just being in this now moment and opening as Source to live through us. And that's the hardest thing that the mind will get used to, because it's not the mind. The mind has to surrender into the divine soul that we are. And that ego is going to surrender. The ego is still required. It will require that we create and manifest things. And that's what the ego is here to help us with. But those are those conversations that you have in your self-care sessions to say that I'm in charge of my manifestations. I'm in charge of my health. I'm in charge of my body. I'm in charge of my desires to move about and meet new soul tribe and experience new co-creations with Source Creator and Gaia and the humanity. These are my excitements. How can we co-create? And you surrender all that you are to your soul and your higher self. And your oversouls and oversouls and oversouls are all those teams and celestial beings and councils that are working through you to gift you that energy of what this now moment can provide to you, because you're open and you're omnipresent. Your knowingness of it changes all your reality. Going back to consciousness and awareness, and these are misunderstood, and that's okay. There's no judgment at all in anything that we say, because I understand enough that everything changes in every moment. From each perspective, it's always true, because every person that comes receives and perceives from their own unique perspective, and it's always true. It's always great, because it's always Source. And this is what's so mind-boggling, and it just allows you, because the mind will allow you just to drop in and begin allowing. Allowing is so important to healing the mental body. And again, it's what we have the most trouble with, because that allowance is that unconditional trust in your knowingness that you are all things. Whatever comes to you is meant to come to you to teach you, to allow you to open, to receive whatever it is you need to receive. You've got the tools to transcend whatever comes to you. In every moment, you can realign to your highest and your best love. But that allowance is so hard for the ego, because the ego has been taught through all of these belief systems that have caused imbalance, thought that the mind has to control, the mind has to micromanage, the mind has to force, the mind has to project, the mind has to create those energies that this must come true, this must be my expectation, this must be the outflow, this must be the inflow. So the mind is way overstimulated, way over challenged. It shouldn't be doing. That's just the old ways of perceiving reality, and that's okay. What is the most challenging is to allow, and that allowance comes with unconditional trust that you are safe, that you are held lovingly, that you absolutely know what you're doing. You are a Christic being, that you're threaded with the all. There is no separation. And that's healing those fears, because those beliefs come with fears. All of these belief systems, they are beliefs because they come with limitation. If it's not your eternal truth, your infinite truth, and your oneness with God, source, creator, the universe, the omnipresence, however you want to define the all that is that creates life. So these come with those limitations. In an awakening and ascension, it's all about releasing limitation in every way. It doesn't matter what you look at it, whether it's your health, the food that you eat, allergies, they're all limitations based on beliefs. And you can shift them, you can change them in the now moment. That fans out everything. Heals your past, heals your potential future, and so on. And so the beliefs are interchangeable, shifting just like that, depending on how that knowingness and that pure intention you are in your alchemy. That love and that pure intention is your alchemic tool, and it is your Christic tool to imagine and to visualize and to come up with affirmations, to come up with those playful experiences on what you want to create for your reality experience, your body experience, your vitality, your mental experience, your etheric experience. Calling light ships in and having that co-creative first contact. It doesn't matter. There's an infinite number of experiences that you can ask for yourself and of yourself. But it's that imbalance of the mental body that once we understand it, we can say, okay, I don't need to perceive the healing as laborious or unmanageable. The healing of the mental body is every moment returning to your unconditional love of you. To know that you are unconditionally loved, that you are one with source, that you are infinite, that you have expansive intelligence, that you have expansive potentiality, that you have all that you need, and always you have within you, because you are the all. You're every bit in between. You're Venus, you're Saturn, you're a multi-present, omnipresent universe that is beyond our definition that we don't know about. Your life in all ways. You can call upon that to serve you in this now moment. And we'll give you a minute. Healing the mental body effects, as we've said before, but we want to reiterate this for anybody that's new. The mental body, affects the physical, the emotional, obviously. We know that. But your mental body affects everything. And it's stemmed from the beliefs that you've held about who you are, what you exist within, and what exists within you. So getting to the core of it. Who am I? What do I exist within? And what exists within me? And how can I create the truth? How can I remember my truth? How can I feed my way back to my truth? I'm infinite. I'm eternal. I'm always with all things and all beings. A big one that many people have to work through is, and this is just one example of a fear-based belief, is attachment. And attachment is based on those emotional experiences that we all have, right, as being human. It's just one of our human experiences that we all move through, that we're here to transcend through our ascension, is the attachment that if we are attached with one or more beings, if you will, like our family members, then there's myriad of separation challenges or even traumas when detachment occurs. Detachment can occur in a myriad of different ways, whether it's death, whether it's accident, whether it's arguments, whether it's separation, divorce, and it doesn't matter what you could call it. It doesn't matter. There are those experiences that we come to heal through those detachment experiences. Detachment experiences can also be through those experiencing the ability to move forward, if you will, on their path, and to know that there is no separation, and I'm going to release that belief system that attachment is like bondage. It's like that energy that is again a limited belief. And that's why attachment and detachment are so important to look at in the process of awakening, especially when you're moving into a higher level of experience, mastery, and so on. Everybody experiences these attachment transformations at varying ages, from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from their developmental experience. And as we will see in the future, if you will, other timelines, is that we will have healed the human experience on attachment, because we will understand that we are source, and that a source is allowing us to believe and remember and know that we are all things, all beings, all places, that we have access to loved one that passed away 10 years ago. We have access to our children, even though they don't want to talk to us, or maybe they're not near us, or maybe one had passed away. Whatever it might be that the experience is, because again, it's infinite and everyone has an infinite perspective. But the more that we allow ourselves to know that love particle is an experience, and that love experience is always available to us. Memories aren't really memories. They're the experience of that vibration. And that's a whole other conversation. Yes. And so I was just talking in my channel there. Sorry, there's a conversation going on. And there's a conversation about experience and memory, but we will do that. We'll talk about that in another session. And so we're just reminding you that any experience, and this is why it's so important to heal the mental body. And I'll give you a quick experience. In my healing, because I can feel so many different things at once. If there is a moment in which a memory is brought up of ostracization or abandonment because of the expression of who I am as spirit, and many people not being ready for it, not understanding it, and not being okay with it, whatever their judgments might be, or their belief systems might be, and where their energy is at. Those are energies that each and every one of us are come to heal, especially masters that are here to offer teachings and to help others, because they have been through so much. They have greater capacity to heal, so that they can teach and that they can transcend it for a lot of others as well. But in this one experience, because this experience was traumatic in many lifetimes, in many ways, it might have been this main theme of abandonment for the expression of spirit might be connected with all of these other timelines and planetary experiences within the whole of the soul. And so if I'm not healing that mental body, and I'm not healing this abandonment issue, then all of these other timelines that it is connected with also stay in stagnancy, and they don't become Candacean. They don't become that light. And so that mental body then starts creating that reality based on that abandonment issue, and it will pull in partners, and it will pull in experiences, and pull in fears that continue to perpetuate, especially at the accelerating energies that we're all moving at right now. And why we've offered that those subtle energies, doesn't matter how small or minor you might think they are, deal with them when they show up. So if it's an issue of distrust, if it's an issue of believability, fear, worry, abandonment, speaking your truth, whatever it might be, thinking you're too fat, thinking you're too small, thinking whatever it might be, it doesn't matter what it is. Anytime those moments come up, those experiences come up, return to center and peel off the layer of that belief and realign to your infinite truth. I am as source is. Therefore, it's not going to turn into this huge thing that becomes a stagnant experience on all timelines that you are experiencing, and then becomes a major, not just a subtle belief you have to transcend, but it's a major belief that you have to transcend, and it becomes your reality experience. And so that's why it's important to, again, heal that mental body, because it's directly related to, we say all timelines because they're all now, and why it's so important to our planetary ascension, so important to our collective ascension, it's so important to ourselves. These are the micro macro. I could use this diagram for an infinite number of expressions and experiences that we could explain in the process of ascension, because we are micro, we're macro, and healing the mental body is so very important to your reality experience. Moreover than nothing, it's more important for your physical and your mental health. Your emotional health is so important. Those emotions help you co-create the beauty that you are. Those emotional experiences help you feel and be the essence of love. It helps you be the essence of love. If the mental body is imbalanced, there won't be a lot of happiness. And that happiness will be sought in other things that of outside sources, like substance or any other type of addiction, because addictions are the replacement of what we really need healed and healed from within, along with the many other things. We're not blanketing it in a simple one-step solution, because it's not. We're multidimensional beings, and the sooner that we allow ourselves the true grace and the miracle of that one understanding. I mean, that's mind-boggling, really mind-boggling. And this is why it's so exciting, and why I see science changing over the next 10 to 20 years, because we will take these quantum leaps of divine knowingness. Wow, I'm bringing this from another planet. I'm bringing the science from another planet. It's really allowing us to see who we are in much profound ways. Because science is really, it's the study of the window, if you will, of our potentiality. And that's what science has always tried to project and predict, because that's the human mind ego thing that says, well, what's our prediction on our evolution, or the prediction of our inventiveness, or the prediction, whatever it might have been. But those are, again, driven by the mind and can only take you so far. Predictions are fine, but they're still always based from that one point where that awareness was taken from. And this is why awareness and consciousness will be a marriage within science, because science will be the understanding that that point of awareness and that point of consciousness will expand infinite potentiality every time that something is taken to investigate, to analyze, to muse, to softly wonder. And that how science will change. It won't necessarily be to get to that prediction, to get to that projection. It will be that wonderment. And that wonderment opens up that consciousness potential, the consciousness of the all, and it's not to get to that answer or get to that predictability. It's to allow the infinite of all that we are to unfold before us and have it be magical and majestic, because it is and it always will be. That's just only my experience and my passion for the allness. Of course, take what feels good to you, and release the rest. We certainly know enough to know that every moment and every perspective and every knowingness is perfect, because it's source creator and it's what you need at the moment. But if you listen to anything that we offer a few times and even come back to it a year later, there will be things within it that because now is the new moment. Now is actually not, okay. So if we produced something like a year ago, and you take it now and you listen to it, there will be information from your consciousness, from the field of all that you are, that is marrying with that information. Although that information is still not a stagnant piece, there's information with it. And this is why, so we're doing quantum physics and experiments, if you will. So the portal to change and shifting is your consciousness. The level of awareness that you hold as yourself is consciousness. And so anything, whether you think and you believe that it might have been a year ago, can change based on who you are in this moment and your level of awareness of it and your acceptance of it. And why some things are predicted over and over again and always proven in certain ways is because their believability and their consciousness level has not changed. And so that's huge. And there's other stuff going on right now, but I can't put it into words. And so this is why I'm wanting to get used to doing these more open channels, because there's so much that is, and this is what I really get excited about. This is why my teams are doing this. I really get excited about the potentiality of human evolution and evolution, because I can feel myself out there. I can feel myself in a ship, and I can feel myself in an experiment. I can feel all this stuff. So it's really exciting for me. And how that relates to healing the mental body. You think that these are beliefs that have been with you and are steeped within you, because I've been through those experiences saying, well, I remember an in-womb experience that started my self-worth. Actually, no, it's been with you for 100 lifetimes. So, get over that aspect and let's deal with what's going on right now, because now is where we change it. And so I have absolutely spent timelines just recycling that same, how can I ever get over this? This is just so deep. But that's how we perceive it, and how we have been pulling ourselves back into that lack of self-worth and self-deprecation, because it's just been our patterning. It's been those egoic mind patterns that we absolutely need to step out of. As hard and as challenging as it is, it may seem, there are ways that it can be healed. And that's what we really need to understand, because there's so much more to our healing and to the majesty of healing than they're showing me now that we've only tipped the iceberg of what our potentiality is on our, whatever we call healing. Healing is just moving from what was to what you've always been, that purity state. In the future, it won't be called healing. It will be called, it will be called expansiveness, your eternal expansiveness. Because we will have, those wounds won't be holding us back from our allness. And the mental body holds us back from our allness because of the wounds, the psyche wounds, the experiences that we call memories. And so thank you. I just seeing if there was going to be anything else I wanted to add. So thank you, everybody. And so please, I send all of my love and the compassion that I have for an infinite soul of infinite nights and mornings that I've spent on the floor crying in understanding what the heck is going on and what's going on. We offer this because there is divine and infinite potential of how we are able to create that sovereignty of who we are as magnetic, magical beings of light to change and transcend. We say this and we offer this because we're going through this portal through the next 10 days in which we will be healing a lot of the density and a lot of the fear and a lot of the energies that, you know, have kept us in disassociation of spirit. And it's really, that's how we can explain our reality, our 3D reality is disassociation. You know, it's just that disassociation from who we are is that pure loving essence, falling in love with who we are. And that's what my teams had offered, you know, let go of the monotony and just fall in love. Any chance that you get to fall in love, Source offers it at every moment that you want to drop and seek it. You know, seek love. I want to fall in love today. Show me the way. I want to fall in love with it, with everything. I want to fall in love with the trees. I want to fall in love with the grass. I want to fall in love. Just intend it. Offer it to yourself. Invite yourself to it. Embrace yourself within it because it's you. As we said, you're within the spaces in between. So how can you start magnetizing and creating and really flowing into this field of all that you are so that when you walk into this field, you're walking into the field that's healed. You're not projecting into the field of all your past woes, thinking that that's how your future will be and you're going to heal it now to create that future. Well, in a way, but you are allowing yourself to be healed in that spot. You're allowing yourself to be healed in that spot because however we see our future, it's a vibration. And you can create that vibration now. So again, we want to get out of the linear perspective of time and space. And it's about vibration. Location is the vibration that you hold within it, just like your memories. Your memories are no different than the location. It's just how we've defined, the mind gets confused and seemingly, you know, threads that don't need to be, you know, confusing. You know, our memories and our memories and the locations, they're vibrations of the experience. So if you want that experience of being unconditionally loved, of being valued and of being caressed and of being treasured and of being abundant and being joyful and happy, create that vibration. Create the reality of that vibration and all the vibrations that surround that desire. You know, if you have a liver, that your liver needs healing, create the vibration of that healthy liver and start building the vibrations that are connected. Start connected with that liver, build the vibrations of that healthy liver because it's macro, micro. So that healthy soul, that healthy candescent particle begins affecting those particles and vibrations around it, the field. And why we've suggested with our clients in the healing process, creating that process that you know and you're committed and devoted to every day begins the healing before you even wake up. It just does. You are that particle within that field that is waiting for you to get there to begin that healing. That's why creating that sacred space with intention, creating that sacred space with your wonderment and your loving musing. You're here and there. You're in that space as you're walking down the hall to get in that space. And it's saying, this is our healing space. Are you coming? Come on, come on, come on. And you start that clearing before you even get to that space. So this is why release the linear potential that leaves us in limitation. Rewrite your past, saying, now my past is healed. Now my body is healed from years of for me, alcohol abuse. My liver is healed from years of alcohol abuse or smoking, whatever it might have been, whatever addiction. You have that potential to rewrite and create a new body. It depends on your purity and your knowingness. Again, it's not the belief, it's the knowing. Your belief systems change and shift based on how consciously aware you are. That knowingness is that pure essence of our remembrance of who we are as Source. I am as Source is. That changes my reality. It's my truth. It is as my name is. And we use things like driver's licenses and birth certificates and passports to show us that understanding. And if you need those images to create around, then create the vibrations around those images. And then you start living it. You get to choose your vibration of your reality. You get to choose the vibration of your body. You get to choose the vibration. And yes, for those that have, come from the experiences that we've chosen and contracted, we can honor them because those are your birthright to the majesty that unveils to you on every time you transcend it and love yourself and remember that essence of sourceness. Make no mistake about it. There is no way around that. It is the equal potentiality of the universe. In all things that you transcend, as you return to your wholeness and your essence of your omnipresence as one. I'm clearing my voice and saying this because it's a profound lesson. You allow yourself the majesty of all that is held within every single step that you have brought yourself up. You've picked yourself up. You have dusted yourself back to that. I am a shining, radiant being of light. And I know within my heart that I am one with Source Creator. Regardless of what others say, regardless of what others think or believe of you or for you or wish for you, that sovereignty and that empowerment that you gain through your own self-healing, because it will be felt, you will feel it. And that's why we say that healing process allows you to feel so confident. It allows you to feel so empowered because you feel yourself as Source. You feel Source with you. You feel Source talking with you. You feel the Holy Mother and the Holy Father harmonizing within you, and they're both offering their unique blessedness so that you are reborn in every moment that you become your whole essence of self. And this is why many of the texts and the ancient scriptures have been misunderstood because of the essence that we have forgotten and disassociated from. This is why the healing process is so validating for who we are as love. That is your birthright. That's your ticket of who you are. And nobody and nothing and no thing can take that away from you. I had a beautiful image years ago when I've offered this in one of our radio shows, that I was moving through something that was profound at one of my clearings and one of my Akashic healings. And it was about the energy of persecution. And we've talked about this so many times. And this persecutory energy can also relate to many other energies like abandonment, the separation, detachment energies at varying levels. Again, it all depends on what you're here to clear and how deep it is, and how wide your wounds go, and how wide your triumphs go, because we want to make that very clear. And it was this experience of I was with a master, and this master was being persecuted for the truth of what they taught as the essence of Source. Like we're offering, and many other masters and many other ascension teachers offer, oftentimes feel and sound as if they're out of this world or unbelievable or they can't be tested or can't be proven, if you will. And that's all well and fine. There will always be an aspect of Source and spirituality and science that will always have that, as we offered before earlier in our teaching today, our offering. And this master was in deep mourning, is the word I want to use. In deep mourning about the frustration, if you will, not frustration. There's a word that is not in our language. There's a deep mourning between what a truth is, the truth of who we are as Source. The truth, when we say truth, is not what can be proven in a scientific study. Truth is who we are as omnipresent beings. That's truth. It doesn't matter the planet you're on, the experience that you're on, it is a truth. That we are unconditionally loved and loving, if we so choose. And we allow ourselves to experience our infinite and eternal energies within that truth. The one is the all and the all is the one. Those are truths of the universe that we experience ourselves within as these human beings. And as you move into different universes, the laws become more expansive, but still have the core truths. Because every universe affects all of the universes, and they have to have different laws so that there is that evolutionary experience. And so the understanding was that the persecution was not about, it wasn't about, the persecution was about ridding of the energies, ridding of the truths that were spoken. But what was misunderstood is that it doesn't matter, and this is why love and compassion are so profound in the healing process, and how we rewrite our world and our socioeconomic systems and what we believe to be true about how we have behaved and how we have co-created these certain systems. It doesn't matter what being might, can't take that being out of the information and the wisdom and the truth that is. And that being can't be taken from it. It is. Energy is always transformed and transmuted. The soul is that infinite, eternal essence of Source Creator. And so many oftentimes that come with that persecutory energy, we come with those beliefs that are so steeped within the DNA and the cells, those psyche imprints that we're here to transcend, because they have meant for us that separation of the body. Because many times we were often killed for our beliefs, our truths. And so this master was showing me that it doesn't matter what occurs. The disgrace of what had happened to the body, if you will. They can't take what is known. They can't take what is a truth. And that's undeniable. The truth will always be the truth. And so in many of our eons of human history, there has been control and limitation because of the level of awareness to say that, well, if we just move those people, and this is why politics and everything will change. If we just move those people, and if I win over you, then those truths will not be, my truth will be my truth, and my truth will rule all, kind of thing. And this is how persecutions have occurred in the past and have been based on mistruths and based on misunderstandings and based on consciousness and lack, control, fear, and greed, and why it has been in great imbalance. The fears that we have to get over for persecution is allowing your voice to be fully explored and expressed and experienced, because in doing so, it transcends all of those realities in which that persecution took place. Because the truths cannot be taken. They're truths. It's like saying, I'm going to take this air away. It's there. It's Source Creator. We're within it all. That energy and that knowingness is there. Once that truth is there, it's there. It's the all. It's an all truth. And this is why what the mind thinks that it will change and egoically manage and control and create with fear will not be a part of, that unconditional love. There will be that shifting and harmonizing until it always returns back to that unconditional love, that highest truth, because that is the highest truth is love. Unconditional, eternal, infinite, always, that truth always. And we're actually, the validation of this is that we are in this body now. I'm in this body now, seemingly. I'm an illusion. However, what I'm saying is coming from other frequencies that can't be heard or felt or known or seen or tested or proven. And that's just validation of your truth is always your truth. This truth was spoken in a myriad of other infinite realities. And I'm okay to say it now because I understand that my truth is my truth, and I don't have to fear persecution. I don't have to fear those things that I feared, and I'm here to transcend. And I'm transcending it now as I speak, because I know that my truth is my truth. It can't be taken. The body is that physical illusion that allows us to experience what we need to experience as the soul's growth. Once that experience is learned, then there will be another experience that the soul will create. that body will be new, that experience will be new, and that belief, that experience will be transmuted and added to the whole truth of now unconditional love. You are created anew every time you transcend. Created anew. The more that you have awareness of that, you have the ability to accelerate your health, your wellness, your vitality, your ability to have fun within it and play within it and wonder within it and be that wonderment of source creator. Why not? We're here to have fun. We're not just supposed to slodge and trudge through, eons of healing. It can be this miraculous experience, it really can. It can just be mind-boggling all the way and say, I don't understand any of this, but I'm doing it. Now, I was in that so many times. I can't tell you how many times in my morning meditations, and I was just sitting there going, I have no idea what's going on. You tell me that I know this. Okay, I'm open. Just bring it in. And they've been telling me the stuff that I know, geneticism and quantum physics, and I'm just saying, I failed physics in college. Are you sure? But I was approaching it and I was perceiving it from the college perspective. And this is where I go back to my expression and offering earlier, that I will have that experience because that's where my consciousness and level of awareness was. Now I'm in this level of awareness now where I'm open to anything, and I'm saying I know everything because I'm in the all. Yeah, I've got it going on. I'm in the all. I'll know what I need to know when I need to know it. So what is it? I'll offer it to my higher self and to all that I am as a soul, and we'll see what comes through. This is how we're opening into our allness, and how we can have that fascination, how we can have that wonderment, how we can have that beautiful higher knowing that I will heal my body. I love my body. I want to fall in love with me. And I know that right now I can heal everything. I want to bring light to this world. I want to be that candescent, beautiful, radiant energy of who I am. Have fun and fall in love with you. Create happiness. You're worthy. You're worthy, worthy, worthy. You're so worthy. You're so worthy. You're just reminding yourself how profound and how out there you are, and be okay with it. It's so awesome. Anyways, go create your miracle. Have fun. Be blessed. And know that you are one within the all. Connect with Gaia. Know that you have these beautiful potentials and these portals that are coming to you so that you can really soften into whatever traumas and fears that are coming up, whatever might feel dark or dense, and just allow it to move through you. Acknowledge what's coming through you. Allow to live what's living through you. Resisting it and stuffing it down will only perpetuate the cycle. So just, create those self-care healing sessions for yourself every morning and every night so that your sleep can be the highest potential of healing as well, because we're constantly 24/7, we're harmonizing, we're creating our reality. So allow your sleep time to be that rejuvenating energy where you don't have to be realigned every morning. It can be a 24/7 expansive process. And so we don't stop being human just because we're going to sleep. It's a 24/7 experience, and understanding yourself is that. But these portals allow us to truly heal and love ourselves, create that self-love. I'm going to fall in love with myself. Whatever's going to come forward, I know that I'm ready for it. I know that my body and my fields can handle it. What is my greatest fear? And even before these portals come up, every day, what are the things that came up for me today, and how can I handle it in a way that is self-loving, that is accepting, and allowing myself to come forward as source now. However I reacted, this is how I am now. I'm loving myself. I forgive myself. I give myself compassion, and all those around me. This is how I choose to experience life now as me, as source. Call source forward. Call your soul forward. Call that harmonization of unconditional love. You get to choose. That's sovereignty. That's empowerment. And you begin to feel your life flow as you're directing it. And you're creating that space before you get there. You're creating you before you get there. It's just so amazing. And so, thank you. Join us for May 11th, Healing the Mental Body class. I think it's May 11th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure May 11th. I just created the dates. So check out our website, Universal Love Light Wisdom. We thank you so much, and stay tuned for our shamanic story, our shamanic tarot, and know that you are deeply loved and deeply honored within the all. Fall in love with who you are. Please fall in love, fall in love, fall in love. It's such a miraculous journey, and don't wait for someone to fall in love with you. Fall in love with you right now. You're worthy of it. We love you.